Can you get me home? Or will you lead me to another place before I overload into the mess of all our broken ways? Give me a signal.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and kids of all ages, welcome straight back into it. We're opening the doors to you again for GLL Season number 1, Week number 2. Myself, Papa Boogie, alongside of Lothar. I'm very pleased to welcome you indeed. We got some spicy stuff coming in tonight, right?
Yeah, and we have 8 new teams actually,
That's
because of the
nice.
alpha and beta system, right? So that's pretty cool. Bravo, sorry.
Yeah, we call it Bravo amongst ourselves, us two, but they call it Beta.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
okay.
guys, who are in Beta. We respect you as Bravo, don't worry about it. But we're still the Alphas. There you go. So what's happening with the Alpha Bravo system is that teams get a chance to actually come into the first and second division. We're going to be talking about that in a few moments.
We're gonna explain that thoroughly. Oh my god, that's
what?
a hard word.
30.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. As is the situation for the teams playing tonight, because we got some new faces in here. So one of the things that we should discuss first is how teams actually organize themselves. Because when you have such a treacherous territory as it is with GLL, when teams keep going back and forth, the looting grounds will never stay the same.
And that's awesome.
And that is awesome indeed. That
Yeah.
that gives you guys also a very good entertainment value, because you should be able to see some early fights, or rather, even if not early fights, you'll see some strategies and some tactics from teams that find new ways to escape their enemies.
Well, it just forces improvisation, right, on the
Yep.
teams. For people who don't know competitive PUBG well, usually teams have like their favorite spot when it comes to loot, right? But when you have teams that you don't know really well, then you have no clue if someone will be dropping to the same location as you or not. If that's the case, then you need to have a backup plan. Do you jump somewhere else? Or even if the plane doesn't really land near your location at
Yeah,
all, what do you do then, right? So I was a big actually opponent of having a fixed loot place for a team, because I think improvisation in Battle Royale is super important.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I understand the premise, especially when teams need to practice synergy. Right.
exactly. So that's one of the main reasons why they would stick together. But anyway, before we get into all the PUBG kind of stuff, how was your week? How have you been doing? I want to start things off a bit nicer this time around. It's like because the thing is, we're kind of thirsty. I'm thirsty for PUBG because I was in repairs last week, so I couldn't cast at all. So I was dreading the thought. But how was your week?
You know, all good, all good. I mean, when it comes to playing the game, I'm kind of excited for the new map, but at the same time, I would love to see improvements on the first map, on the
On
Angel,
Angel,
right? Yeah.
There were some talks some while ago about a remake of Angel, or a remaster, so to speak. I think we're a bit early to discuss that one at this
Oh,
stage
you know,
in time.
it brings a lot of questions, right? What if we have a third map? Do we bring it into tournaments as well?
Yes, we do.
Who knows, right?
Well, unless some people have to say anything about that on Twitter.
Well,
no,
that was a
it-
heated discussion
oh, my
today
Lord, do not
on that,
remind me.
right? Yeah.
Today even.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh lordy, I missed that one up. I gotta get into the gossip kind of juicy bits. If you guys know what Luthar's talking about, perhaps you can let us know in the chat, or let us know who your favorite team is, because we freaking love spam right here in GLL. So without further ado, we're gonna be looking at the way the alpha settings work with the Bravo lobby as well. So there you go. You have 2 lobbies, both playing at the same time. You got 8 teams for the top Bravo division coming into Alpha, and then the last 8 teams from Alpha will be going into Bravo. So this week around, we had some teams that actually came back and forth, and I think Lothar has all the information in the world. So Lothar, who the heck is going where, man? Because I'm so confused. I don't even know where my pants are. Do I
So
even have
from
pants?
last week,
I don't have pants.
You don't have pants? No one sees that.
That's
No worries. Last week from Bravo, we had 8 teams that did advance to the Alpha section, and that is Havu, House of Nobles, Limitless, Finstack, Forza, Great People Only,
Great people. only.
Copenhagen Flames, and No Loot Gaming. So those are the 8 teams that advanced, and the difference between Alpha and Bravo divisions is that Alpha earns, let's say, 100% of the points, while Bravo earns 50% of the points.
Exactly, that's the big kind of difference between Alpha and Bravo. Because you're kind of wondering, okay, so what's the point? Do you just kind of move teams around just for the sake of diversity, just for the sake of a better kind of show for the viewers? Well, no. This is exactly what it is, Lothar. So basically, if you're in Alpha and you're getting 200 points per chicken dinner, if you would have the same kind of chicken dinner in Bravo, you get half of that. So you get the same amount for kills, halved
Yep.
as well. So it's there you go.
That's the
That's for alpha. There you
alpha
go.
point distribution in each game. As you can see, we also changed the way you get points for kills. When you did watch the preseason of GLL, it was quite different. It was scaling up each game. Above 10 kills, you had really nice scaling.
Oh yeah.
In this case, whatever kill you get, whenever, which game, doesn't matter, it's still 8 points.
Absolutely. So this time around, it's going to be gimped as well for the second lobby. You're going to be getting 4 points per kill, and there's no adjustment as well. Both of the lobbies, as Lothar said, won't have any kind of extra bonus, I guess, if you go on a killing spree. And that is to the problem is that the teams were saying that there were teams that had the same amount of kills, but because some of them actually throttled in one match and got those most amounts of kills in one match rather than the others, and that was the bigger issue, I suppose, in that regard. So they were like, okay, let's just kind of have a standardized killing, reward system for kills, and that should see us good. So there you go.
Yeah. We had a situation when a team with less kills had actually more points than the team with more kills.
Yeah.
That was the reason why they had the preseason, right? To
Rip
test
GG.
out stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
really
there's a freaking that's what I love about GLL, man. That they actually came out and said, okay, we're not going to call our first season because we want to iron out all the kinks. We want to make it as smooth as possible. We're going to call it the preseason, even if it's going to be a professionally made production. Even if we're going to be flying casters from all over the world. Even if, you know what I mean, like we're going to be up to standard with our production team as well. Very, very cool studio and whatnot. The observers maybe, but yeah. I'm just memeing
we love
around.
you, answer.
We love you, Answer. But they called it a preseason nonetheless because they were like, okay, so let's first figure out how PUBG works right now in the esports scene. Let's figure out if our league is or isn't esports ready, and then we're going to be coming into the games nice and powerful and strong. So that's what they did. So that's why this is the first season, and that's why what you saw before from the 30th of October all the way to December was called the pre-season.
And this time we actually have $50,000 prize pool.
There's also that. So you kind of have to iron out all the kind of problems, and settle a good baseline for what's to be a tournament that has a lot of money involved, man. Because this is the top. There's not a tournament. There's only one tournament that offers this, but there's no higher price for a tournament in PUBG at this moment in time. So kudos to GLL for freaking bringing you all these goodies around here. And also just a bit of a juicy info. Tonight, FaZe Yempty is not playing. He cannot play.
So they have a sub.
So they're playing with a sub at the minute. Don't know who it is. We're going to be finding out when we go into the game. But regardless, we thought we should let you know because right now FaZe are flying in, and I think Yempty is the only one that was caught between a two flights
Layover?
delayed,
Yeah.
layover, delayed, that kind of sort of stuff.
Happens.
So. It sort of happens, and that's the reason as well why we're not doing the NA production, because any teams are being flown over to IM, so we want to give them some time. There's no point to get them to lose points. You know what I mean?
There's no point to lose points.
There you go. I'm pointing my finger at you, and I'm also pointing my finger at you because on the 6th of March we're going to be showing you the NA production. So if you're wondering what's going to happen with these NA teams, are they not going to get any points at all? No. We're going to do them on a Tuesday on the 6th of March.
I did wonder what will happen with them. Thank you
Oh,
very
there
much.
you go.
Oh.
I keep pointing tonight. I don't know what it is. It's the blazer, because I never wore a blazer in GLL before. But that's what happens. You're going to be watching that production on the 6th, and on the 7th we're going to have again a full show, EU and NA.
Well, today we have
3
5
production.
matches from EU. 2 on Miramar, 3 on Erangel. No, wait, isn't the other way around this
Yes,
time?
it is.
It is, right?
So there you go. We're going to be starting off with 3 matches of Miramar, but we're not going to be doing it now. No, indeed. Now we're going to throw you guys to some spicy GLL music, as we are all used to the DJ back there, because, lobby stuff. Because of reasons, and why you need to know so much. See you guys in a few.
Can you get me home? Or will you lead me to another place before I overload into the mess of all our broken ways? Give me a signal, be a signal.
So basically, if I wear it like this, then it still looks like a bit like that guy from the 6th Element. You know what I mean? So then I'm like,
Sixth-
I'm just gonna freaking do that. And
You
then
mean
it's like,
Gary Oldman?
you know what I mean?
Gary Oldman?
Hey,
Hey, we're gonna play Erangel first.
so cringe, man. Give me some ha-has in the chat. You know us. You love us. You're well aware with the shenanigans that Papa Boogie and Lothar have to bring to you. But yeah, we're basically, what's happening here is we try some lobbies on Miramar. They didn't work necessarily that well. So we're going to be starting off, scratch the initial plan to play 3 Miramar, 2 Angels. We're going to be doing the thing that we normally do, well, that we did last week, which is play 3 Angels, 2 Miramars. That should make Bogdan happy in the chat there. So there you go. Bogdan, there you go. Similar name as mine. As you can see, my name and my Twitter handle down here. Thank you so much for the Twitter follows. I'm not a sellout. Oh my God, thank you, production. That was such a rep, GG. They were like, nope, we're going straight into the game. Screw
look at
you,
that.
Boogie.
They're jumping from the plane. Well, this is the first game of
All
GLL
right.
Season 2.
Let's freaking
Week
go.
2. Season 1. What am I talking about? Week 2.
We're getting ahead of time, but there you go. Let's talk about the first game. Indeed, it has started, and the plane is coming down strong, and it is a plane that will avoid most of the western area. So keep that in mind. Remember this plane trajectory as we see the first circle in just a few moments, because that's going to pretty much let us know how things are going to be working out for teams that normally go onto the west side, which you see Kingwin already doing there. Method taking their home, not a problem there. Havu might have a bit of a harder time. But then again, Havu this time around looks like they're going to be sticking around farm area, perhaps looking for some vehicles, then going to Primorsk. Although lately they have been trying some adjustments, so I don't know if this time around they're going to be trying their adjustments here as well. Maybe they're training for something bigger. I don't know what they're doing. Huh? Can you tell me?
Not really.
I sound like a freaking Scooby Dog right there, didn't I?
Well,
Very haha.
it's a very interesting plane drop since it just kinda left the west side completely unpopulated, right? And
Yeah.
if anyone wants to go to Georgopol, they need to go for vehicles first. That means they will lose time. So if the circle ends up on the east side, they will have a lot of distance to travel.
True.
At the same time, we do see a little bit of contestation in the beginning. On the military, we have actually 2 teams in both locations, Sosnovka and in Novo, which is super interesting. We didn't have that last week, right?
Yeah.
So
That's actually pretty cool. It might yield for some initial combat, actually. Starting to think of it.
people will be upset.
People will not be happy. But you know what people will be happy for?
What for? Look at that circle. You'll be happy for.
Seeing the weather, man. There you go. So let's have a look at this, guys.
Weatherman, tell us if there will be a lot of water incoming.
I'm not picking up that narrative again.
Okay.
I've learned to hold my tongue in the meantime. So here's what's up. So the plane went like this, yeah, and the first circle, as you can see on this side, which means that all these teams that actually have to traverse and go towards the west side are going to be happy. Well, there's not going to be a lot of teams, of course. There's going to be Kingwin going to their favorite spot right here. So in terms of where the circle is at the moment, pretty much all the teams are going to be happy. Even if the plane path didn't cross the circle, it doesn't necessarily matter. In a competitive scenario, for those of you that maybe perhaps just came in here to for the first time, what happens is teams kind of have a designated spot. So they're going to be assigned, or not assigned, but they're going to fight for a place during scrims, during private scrims, and when they win that place, they're going to be looting there in competitive as well. So you can see here, teams will be making their way to a fair amount of spread onto the map there. I'm looking here at Limitless, actually. They're going to be going to the Quarry. This is a team that I actually want to look at Limitless because we didn't have the chance to look at them last week. They were in the Bravo lobby, but they performed very well, so now they've been upgraded to Alpha. But yeah, I want to have a look at this team right over yonder, which is Limitless indeed. So we'll see how those guys fare later on. In the meantime, though, we did see Havu as well not do their standard strat. So considering that the plane went here, what they could have done is drop 4 cars around this area and then continue on traversing towards this spot, which is their favorite looting ground, which is Primorsk. But this time around, they have chosen to loot around the farm area, which is a good thing to have. Some teams do this, some teams don't. For example, a team like Method, they're going to be sticking around the Pochinki area all the freaking time. It doesn't really matter where the circle goes or where the plane goes. They're going to try and make their way into that zone. But for Method, we have to mention, Pochinki is quite a central area. If you look at the entirety of the map where Pochinki is, it's a very, very decent spot. So you don't need to find any other places unless you get challenged.
Well, now the question is, what is going to happen during the first rotation, right? Because the plane kind of indicated all the teams to go to the west side, and now they have to go to the east side and to the north of the map. But the problem is you can't really travel south of Georgopol because that's a really dangerous terrain.
Absolutely. And here's another thing that's interesting. Oh, we're going to be going into the fight. We'll come back at you with the weather stuff in just a moment. I was about to tell you about Grubby versus Havel because they both like to look pretty morse. But let's have a look at this one here. What's going down? Looks like Sixy is fighting himself some frags and Meter as well. Viglur, we also saw him on the spotlight here. So Alliance fighting off Tentacle themselves.
Yep,
See how this
Lions already
advance.
found a kill. And they lost a member, if I'm not mistaken here. It's teeth for teeth, eye for an eye.
Yes, indeed. So it's going to be a 3v3 situation here. And looks like this fight could potentially stop, but it's not going to. Miller spots VZ, takes him down. Knocked out with Zem4. Useless now. He's going to hide in between that very organic crew.
interior.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I
Nice
was actually going to say.
interior.
That. It's
Really,
like a
really
very
nice.
organic kind of. Nice. I want that in my house, actually. Meter comes in here. He's going to be getting the res.
Guy
No
in the
problem at all.
shotgun.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to be getting the res without any kind of care in the world here. He's going to have their backs as well. There's no nade that seems to be coming in from Miller. That tells us that there's no nades available. But Viglur has an interesting idea. Will he know to nade the right place? Not necessarily. Going to be needing the opposite side, but that opens up the possibility for him to actually spot players coming in here. He's got a second nade to throw. Meter here's that one and stays in the toilet. Nobody's going to be connecting onto those nades there, and Viglur has run out of them. So now he's going to be holding onto a spot there. We know that Alliance are going to be forced to come out at some point in time. Sixy's peeking up. He might spot Miller on the rooftop here. So Miller has to play this one safely. Let's see where the third man was. Oh, there's just two guys left for Tentagold. Oof, that's a bit unfortunate thing. Can Miller and Viglur do something about this?
6 minutes into the game, already half of the squad. Unlucky. Well, that's what you get.
This is the attempt to exit.
Yep.
Right here from Tentagold. Will they be able to do just that? Viglur is going to be holding on to his angle. But
Good
busy.
prediction. Good prediction.
Very
but,
nice.
But a really nice crosser placement from his opponent, and well, that ended up with a bad outcome for Viglur.
Indeed it did. And Miller's now going to have to play as a solo. He's going to have to rethink the strats. When you play as a solo, you're going to pretty much sneak your way into the circle and just kind of prone there and hope that you don't get shot.
I think if I would have been that guy, now I would just take a boat and go into the water already north off the side of the circle and just sit there, you know, on the edge and just go into, well, I guess another circle with water next time. But look at that.
Carbonica Flames. Ooh.
Some drive-bys.
Yes, indeed. Slim noise on Jones.
The new boys in the Alpha lobby.
Quite okay.
Copenhagen Flames.
Yeah, there you go. Came it in from beta last week.
Bravo.
Bravo. Yes, sorry. They're going to be holding a spot that Kingwin held last week, actually. Oh, no, actually, they're going a bit more western than that. Kingwin are going to the same old place that they want to go to, but they're really putting themselves in a bit of a crossfire here. Let's watch Kingwin right now on the north side there.
Heavy fire right now. That suppressive fire from from the compound was a lot of shots. I wonder how much ammo do they have. So look at that. Look at the HP of him.
Oh, he's still alive. The car was almost blown up to smithereens. He was almost blown up to smithereens, but somehow he makes it out alive, and he will be holding the spot. This is the spot that got them the chicken dinner last game as well, last week as well.
They really love that spot because they already assume people will be coming into the circle, into the water, which is not a bad assumption, since that's unfortunately a strategy that you have to do.
Oh, look at that UAZ! It's gonna blow up. No way that thing stays alive! Oh.
He was so close to actually to get it, you know.
He was! He stopped it. He wanted to go out. Miracle. It took a miracle to see him out of the car. And that miracle, pretty much people peppering him down with shots. Holy smokes. Good way to start the match right here with the spicy, spicy circles, forcing teams to actually traverse a very long path, which means that they're going to get absolutely bodied.
Something that we did talk about in the preseason is because of, you know, I was going to blame us for saying that in the preseason the game wasn't really performing that well when it comes to the FPS for the players, right?
How dare you. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Instead of complaining on Twitter, you know what they did? They adapted.
No, that's not the point what I want to say.
No.
Now we have more
we'll
FPS.
Yeah?
And because of that, driving vehicles is actually way tougher.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to shoot at you.
But that was the adaptation to lower FPS. That was their resolution to lower FPS. That was such a cool little gimmick that they found. They're like, okay, so we kind of have this unwritten pact. If you guys just joined in maybe in the last few months or maybe even today for the first time in comp PUBG, what's happening is when everybody would be traversing with vehicles, the FPS on the server would instantly go down, like super badly. So that means that the people in the compounds weren't able to shoot as well. So they kind of had this unwritten rule. Whenever there's a new circle coming in here, everybody get in their vehicles. So because of that, People in the compounds were a bit Monka-esque. But this time around, there's not that dip in FPS. So teams are going to have to find new ways to traverse. Made it much difficult, but then again, this is the way the game should have been, the way it is now. So you're just going to have to adapt and overcome, I suppose, my friends. Because that's the only way to do it. Or you can take out Twitter.
Another heavy fire. Meter from Alliance was trying to get out, and he did, I think, with minimal casualties.
Yep.
Just some bullet holes in his truck.
In his
That's about it.
dignity. Limitless, in the meantime, lost 2 members there with the car explosion. That's a bit of an unfortunate moment for them. I think they
Look
might
at
have been
Kingwin,
in a
already
rotation.
in the position.
Yeah. Kingwin have themselves a very decent spot there, but they're playing a bit of a split, which is not the best thing considering that Copenhagen Flames are kind of close to them. However, there's one guy missing from Team Kingwin.
Well, he was already dead.
Oh, well then. I was
With the
sure.
driveway, right?
What?
Miracle.
Oh, it was Miracle, poor guy. Trying to make his way there, getting himself
Yep.
locked to smithereens.
We already also see Matted very early on with the rotation from Pochinki,
Let's
which
have a
is
look at
nice to
face.
see.
Let's have a look at face, because I want to talk about this. Let's show the weatherman again, if possible. Thank you, guys. So let's open up the map. Wait for the cameras to pan in. Hey, how's it going, dudes? So here's the thing. Phase, we were talking about this earlier on. So teams that actually have to loot around this area, around this kind of spot, know how to rotate early, because very rarely the circle is going to be encompassing this side of the map. So you can already see Phase having looted their big Milta, small Milta. They've grouped up together, and now they're taking all the way the westernmost approach, well, the northernmost approach rather, into the circle. So these guys, I want you guys to look at them because they're really, really good at rotations. They're one of the most powerful teams. And in comp PUBG, rotations are at least as good as your aim. It's a very, very important element of the game here. If you know how to rotate, then you're going to have a
I
very
think it's even
decent
more
chance.
important. At least for
Yeah,
the
you can say
IGL,
that.
right?
Absolutely.
The IGL needs to have the best potential ideas for rotations, otherwise the entire team just ends up dead, so they are dependent on them.
True that indeed. So there you go. FaZe are going to be making their way towards Severny. They know that place hasn't been loaded. They've done their homework. So this is partly why they're so good at rotates, because they look at all these teams and they say, okay, so this team likes to go here, that team likes to go there. Nobody's going to Severny, so that means that we can probably safe cross it. Or what they considered is that, okay, so looting period is over, so now we can make our way through Severny without any kind of care in the world. Very smart rotation, guys. And I want to see how they rotate after this position, because right now they seem to be settled in the Severny area, but I want to see later on what's going to be happening. We see some action. We're going to go back into it. But thank you guys for your patience and time with Weatherman Boogie. We'll have Weatherman Lothar as well later on.
Later on.
Later on,
Switch
later
around.
You're like, there's no rush. Screw it. I thought you liked playing with that thing. You're really good at it as well.
I love it. I honestly think that's very needed in every single Battle Royale production.
It is so good. I freaking love GLL for it, dude. So, Black Wall Entertainment as well, right? They have the team tracker on the left side, which is something that you don't see anywhere else on the world. So, there you go. Your favorite team is going to be displayed on the left side there. You're going to see how many people are alive from that squad. You're going to see it's in the goals. 1 member, Limitless, 2 guys, and then loads of 3s, and then full squads as well. Nobody dead just yet when in this 18-squad match. They've got the team tracker. They've got the Weatherman stuff, which is so good for us as casters to talk about the rotations as well, because we don't have control of the mouse, right? So, this is some, man, GLL is paving up. I know you're going to be calling me, like a suck up or whatever, but they are paving up the freaking path for PUBG esports, man, and you got to love them for that. You got to show them appreciation for that. Show them appreciation on Twitter, please, by following them on, what is it, Global Loot League, I think?
Yeah, it is.
There you go. There you go. Just search for GLL, you're going to be fine. Limitless in the meantime there. 2 guys staying alive. Going to be in a bit of an engagement with Team Grubby. Let's see how this one works out. Papa eats up a heck of a ton of damage there. Gonna have to go for the first aid kit. And I don't know if Grubby want to. What they do want to attack this. They're actually going to be coming in here. Let's have a look at Team 18. And Pokemon is going to be leading the path there. Shade is going to be close by. They've got a compound to work with here behind so that they can approach Limitless quite safely. So, and now that they're made their way so close, they're going to have to get into this one and finish it off. There's no way out.
I'm holding my breath because I saw that AK with no red dot, no hollow, just a iron sight, and that is a pain in the ass to manage. Oh! It burst. I think that was a burst. And I'm actually no.
It was. Yeah, it definitely was a burst. Broken Mode comes in with the first knockout there. It's going to be Papa that trades some frags. Papa's doing God's work right now. Snoopy made himself. And that leaves... Well, that leaves Grubby in a very dire spot. They only have 2 people left alive. They're going to be going for the rest downstairs there. Papa, in the meantime, is going to be using up some bandages there. He does not have a first aid kit. Pop-Up's playing this one to perfection here. Also helped out by the situation earlier on, but it doesn't really matter. He tried to just get a house, but he got absolutely bodied by Pajama. Ain't not a Pajama, dude. We got to say this about Pajama. He is the freaking rock star of Grubby. After what, in the qualifiers, when he threw a nade and bodied a whole freaking squad. 3 nades, sorry, but still, he bodied a whole freaking squad with 3 nades. Yerpsy. All right, so let's see Ansvar.
So, where's, oh, here it is.
There she is. Okay, so that
It's
wasn't.
a 3-man bike.
There you go. That wasn't a hard task for what do you call it? For our Sherlock Holmes Ansvar tonight.
Yeah, it was
Easy
just
one.
zoom out the camera,
Yeah, done.
see where's the bike standing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's there. Problem solved. I mean, not a problem, but issue solved.
Man,
At least the foundation of it.
don't make it sound simple. Ansvar's putting in a lot of work here.
Yeah.
Give him some praise. Give him
All right.
give him some candy.
Crimson.
Well, you tried to give him candy at the break, but he refused to in a very, very dire manner. No, I'm just kidding.
What's up?
What?
What's up?
How you doing?
Oh, good. How you doing?
How you doing? You see, because chat not gonna know what we're talking about, dude. Because that's like an old meme, bro.
I think everyone did watch Friends at some point of their life, you know?
Everyone that's like
And it's on Netflix right
over
now.
25.
So,
Oh, yeah, it is.
I think it's gonna come back.
Oh, people getting triggered about. You know what? We're not gonna get into politics. But yeah, watch Friends if you didn't. It is on Netflix now. It's a great friggin' show. It's a bit cheesy, like Pop Boogie. Perhaps that's where I draw my cheese from. But it's a real great show. It's a lot of fun. Pretty much like Pop Boogie as well. So there you go. Now, circle indeed showing up. Second circle moving into third pretty soon. Let's see the third one. Where is it gonna be? This is a very important circle as well. Fights happening at the most powerful compound into the game as we speak right now. Sigsy sticking Timmy. And they're taking shots at another player as well. Sieke is going to be knocked out himself. That's an unfortunate thing. So there you go. 2 members lost as well from that team. Let's have a look at the map again. Oh, no. Actually, Alliance are going to be in a fight. We'll have a look at that one with Grubby. Man, Grubby aren't freaking satiated by the way they destroy Limitless. Now they're going against someone else. And they're playing as 3s and they're playing as aggressive as they are, man.
Well, they
You
have
gotta
3 kills
love Team
already,
Grubby.
right?
I freaking love these guys, man. Every single time they put on the best to show. Like, for a caster and for you as a viewer, Team Grubby is like the bomb. Because it gives you good entertainment, you know what I mean? Their playstyle is just so bombastic. It's great.
I think it kind of also sets up a, let's say, approach for other teams to battle them, right? If they're gonna see the team like somewhere nearby them, it's like, oh god, we have to be super defensive now.
Yo, smoke and
That UAZ is halfway destroyed.
Yeah, Mixie's gonna find his way to safety though. And we were talking earlier about the rotations of this particular team. Whoa, they're coming into fours. Nice little juke there. Mixie spotted fours last second there. They're gonna be taking shots, but it's not gonna matter too much. There you go. One close to another. They're gonna be coming close to the drop as well. Vanity's gonna be firing off some shots as well to try and set them away. Mixie eating up a lot of damage, but his UAZ is eating them more. And I don't feel that their enemies at the crate drop are going to be alive for too long here.
Look at that setup, by the way. Level 3 helmet, level 3 vest. He had more armor than UAZ.
Yeah, dude. He's just casually walking into that hut. He wasn't even like trying to run into it. But yeah, now they're going to be in a very difficult spot. They do have a side flank going on here. I'm not too sure who it is, but Vanity's going to be eating up a heck ton of damage. First knockout comes in from Fuzzface. Some replies will come in.
Good, no, that was like a shoulder just peeking out.
Yes, it was. Let's see who is that side flank, because I'm not too sure who is it. Oh, those nades! Hey, there goes Botsman as well, and that's a finishing nade as well for Vanity. Team number 4 it is.
House of Nobles.
House of Nobles, H-O-N. It's
Those
a
are the
great
new
team, I
guys
think.
from Bravo. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So new guys from Bravo coming in here. I don't know who else. This is just one guy left from their team. It's just going to be Flicks. So that's unfortunate. Oh, look at Kingwin Larson. See this split here. He's coming in late here. Oh, is he going to be in trouble? Oh, is he going to be? He's in the water.
Did they
actually.
spot him? I think so.
He's playing water.
Yeah, they know that he is there.
Yeah. By the way they're looking, they definitely know what's up. But because they're going to be challenged themselves by someone into the circle, it's not going to be a fight they're going to be able to take too long. So Kingwood are doing the smart thing right now. They're setting one guy into the water and one guy to snake around because there's just 2 left alive. So with that in mind, they're hoping to get a good placement. They're not playing for kills. They're not playing for anything else. But that's about it.
In the meantime, we see Crimson just camping on compound. Good positioning right now. They will still wait for the next rotation. We have 90 minutes into the game. Usually, each game takes around 31 to 33 minutes. So, it's a little bit up past the halfway. And that's the end of Kingwin Larson. He actually drowned. So that's unlucky.
Did he disconnect?
I'm not sure. I think he was just trying not to peek and trying to like peek the last
Because
minute
look,
or
look, look,
something.
look. There's two guys actually from Kingwood. So I think he disconnected.
I think he moved. Oh, maybe he was just swimming, while disconnected. Who knows?
You know what? He's going to be able to tell us. Oh, that nade! Coming in from Vart to actually knock himself out there. He missed the shot onto it. And now his teammate is going to be trying to smoke off the area there. So that air game pit, I don't necessarily see too much there. But as they go to the open, they're going to be saved. Kingwood gets saved by squad number 16. There's the chance for Vart to get himself raised up back. A little mistake there that cost him a knockout. But at least they're not dead. They really had saviors just south of them there. And you can see Sampola is going to be the one leading that saving squad, I suppose. Great people only. Doing great things only. For Kingwood, at least.
Good meme. Good meme.
I mean, Poor Sar says, I'm equally part proud and disappointed that you didn't draw a penis on the weatherman.
That's gonna be a joke every single time, right?
Oh, man, I think that. You're so annoyed. Like, is that going to be a thing now?
No, it's gonna be. It's gonna be. Look at that. Look at Havu and Solenso bleeding out pretty fast. One more knock and he's gonna be dead instantly.
Well, the thing is, because they're outside, he wouldn't have been able to get rest either. So I don't really mind, even if you would have attempted. So here's what happened if you were just starting to play the game, or if you've been playing for a while but don't know this mechanic. If you get knocked out on the outside of the blue, even if your teammate reses you, you're still going to take tank damage as you get rest. So you still get your stuff lowered, right? Your HP bar lowered. Now looks like Kingwin, a bit of a doozy here. Oh, Posca again with the double nader. Indeed, Posca it is. I don't know what Koiran means, but I know what Posca means, and it's a Posca day for Kingdom.
Damn, that was a really rough situation for King. There was no way out. Basically, when we're in a shack like that and you have no doors, there's no way of just going out. Even if you go out when you hear a nade, you're gonna be right in the crosshairs of your opponent. So, tough luck.
Method shooting at squad number 5, shooting at phase, shooting at someone else. This is some sort of a love freaking.
That's the sub, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see how it pans out. Not necessarily finding out too great for phase. You're gonna have to get a res onto their fallen teammate there, but they were playing a 3+1 split with Hack City on the north side there. Hack City's gonna be grouping up with his teammates, I feel like now, and they're still in a bit of a doozy. They're gonna be taking Horkin down, so that's a good start for them there. Method in the meantime are gonna be grouping up and hitting the south side of their compound, as there is a guy knocked there. And that kill should be going their way as well. Phase now. Very, very close to Method. Very, very close to Force, who will have to go through Phase unless they go a bit norther.
Well, the south side of the circle is actually... west side of the circle is pretty open. But the problem is, there's a reason for it. Because now we have open fields on that west side. There's literally almost nowhere to hide unless you're proning and you have a small ditch next to the road. So it's kind of problematic, especially when we will see the next rotation of the circle, and that will dictate what will happen to the teams. But this is the moment when we still have a lot of people alive, and in the next 2 minutes, a lot will change.
Indeed it will. Chronix now, with the frag stolen on him by Pokemon. In the initial one, I think it was from Method. Now, Phase have lost members as well. There's one guy up and one guy... Oh, never mind. Andy comes in with the nade and destroys them absolutely. Crimson now. To be in a fight. I know this fight seems to be working out just fine for Pybus, who finds the first frag there. One guy left. Is going to be there. Udir. Is he going to be able to find the clutch against the full man squad? Exalt Gaming in a dark spot now. He's going to try to make a run for it there. Is it going to happen? No. NBS brings him to nothing, and that's a good fight for Crimson. They're going to win for sure. But now, Grubby have heard them. And Grubby, you know what they do. They go aggro.
They go all in every single time. Look at Ziggs going there.
Where did he come from? And
Well,
how is he still alive? Well, not
Is
for
he?
long. No, he's not. At least he didn't give the frag. At least he didn't give the flag. So I think that's going to be the end of Alliance. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
he was the last living member of Alliance since the beginning of the game, basically.
Yeah, pretty much after that fight with
Yep.
Tinta Gold and Nova Repnoi, left Alliance lacking. Now, let's see this push from Fours onto their enemies, Quiran, Bosca, Helio. And it looks to be only Finnish boys that try to smoke themselves out. Is it going to be working, or will they see an enemy close by and have to deal with immediately?
I'm sure those guys are waiting for a map with snow.
They would love that. I would love that. Freaking everyone would love that. And that's what's coming, right? Because the nighttime is going to be a game mod. This is okay. So this is Papa's prediction, guys. that will be coming out in a second. Let's see at the fight in the meantime here. Diaz comes in with a good knockout here. Shamrock is going to be returning fire though. However, Sampo and Kuerampaska. Kuerampaska now to 1/3 of his HP. Is he going to be alive for too long here? Ooh, some shots do connect from Diaz. He needs to find some cover though, real fast.
No
And he
nades
does
on
just
him.
that. Oh, he doesn't go for the
good
cover.
shot.
Wow. Okay, so there goes Sampo down now. The last one staying alive, Kuerampaska, is going to have 4 seconds to heal up and move in as well. No chance to get the res. He's just going to have to make an exit for it. Flex is going to be waiting for him on the other side. Kuerampaska in a very dire spot, in a very dire position. Diaz will be going for the res.
No,
He's
no,
going to get
he's
a chance.
just picking up the items from him.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So, wow, that's an unfortunate thing.
Usually what people can do also is that the knocked player will just go somewhere in the circle, right? And drop the items in the meantime.
Has Flicks been blocked? Ansvar, show us the entrance to the tunnel. The entrance to the tunnel is...
I think he's just camping there.
Is he blocked?
Yeah.
No, he's not blocked. Okay, so he's
He was just
taking it a
camping
bit
there.
late.
I'm assuming he has a lot of kits.
Yeah, he heard the shots earlier. This is what happened. He heard the shots. He knew there was enemies trying to fight it off. And now that it's quiet, he's like, okay, this is my time to show myself to the world.
He has only 2 kits.
There
There's
you
no way he
go.
can survive this circle.
Absolutely not. If he does it, he's some sort of a magician. No, he won't. In
No,
the
there's
meantime,
no
though,
way.
Flames have found themselves a frag and another one there as well. So, and oh, look at this one actually. Grubby taking shots at Method, knocking Leighton down. Grubby, real aggressive, real nice right now. Let's see if they can find more than one. Oh, there's an attempt to run from 80. Is he going to be able to make it? Full HP? Well, not so full right now because he's in the blue. Snoopy's going to be holding on to the same spot there with an 8XM4. Taking the shots, not connecting many. This is not an often thing that Grubby do. Not connect their shots. But this time around, it looks like 80 gets a second chance at life. However, with Andy and Leighton being knocked out and taken down, it's just going to be 80 playing by his lonesome. And as he makes his way closer, he's going to run into other solos, Diaz being the first one in. 80 heading straight into Diaz right now.
And we have also seen
Does he not
Flex
see him?
from House of Nobles die in the zone. Well,
Boop. One shot.
Diaz couldn't really find a good angle to have cover in this situation.
Yeah. And 80's going to be coming out on top on that duel there. He's got the rock to work with here. Kuerampaska, unseen in the meantime, will be finding himself a tree to work with as well.
But look at the team tracker. We have 3 teams with
Wow.
full members and 3 teams with just 1 member. This is a really unusual split of power
Yeah,
on
that's
the
true.
map.
Vegas Squadron 1 as well. Let's have a look at the map real quick. Andy Noel. Oh, there you go. Okay, so Andy Noel just alone by himself for Nova Squad. For Vegas Squadron, Method, of course, only having 80. And great people only Kuerampaska.
So if I'm not
One
mistaken, that small building in the middle of the UAT circle right now is not a building, it's just a tower.
The antenna.
It's not like a big antenna, I think.
No.
It's just like the,
The base.
power station thingy.
Is the power station thing, yes. Let's have a look at the power station thing. Let's have a look at Crimson first. Oh, we're going to have a look at Flames in the meantime. Thank you, spectator mode. Not answer, by the way. So Copenhagen Flames, let's talk a little bit about rotations because I want to pick your brain here, Lothar.
Mhm.
What can Flames do to enter this circle? Because they don't necessarily have any kind of cover to get in there.
I think they have to split. Basically either 2+2 or 3+1. Get one guy that can kind of try to get a different
Multiply
angle
their
and scout
chances.
out. Also at the same time, the power of split. How other teams are splitting their power. And that information is crucial. Sometimes you can lose a member because of that, but the information for the next circle will be way more valuable than a member itself. Because otherwise, you're just gonna, roll a die, and do we have a good rotation or not?
Lithuanians versus Russians right now in this fight as Grubby seem to have conquered that land. But in the meantime, actually, boys from Crimson have found themselves a better spot. They're in the circle, and they're going to be playing this position themselves, just waiting for the boys from Russia to try and peek over that crest. And as soon as they do, they're going to get absolutely decimated. There's one guy coming in from the backside of Grubby as well. Let's see if Pybus will be able to find himself any kind of frags with the SKS. Very powerful rifle. If it does connect, or sorry, DMR, if it does connect, it will be wiping out the boys. And in the meantime, found himself one member from Copenhagen Flames who did that split, but have lost one guy here, and is going to be holding on to his fire, not for too long there. 80 as well dies down, so it's just going to be 5 teams left alive in this situation here, and Flames are taking shots from Pybus, but they're not paying attention to Grubby, who are sneaking in from the backside. If you look at the minimap here, Grubby, Snoopy is actually leading the pack. Let's see if they get any kind of close to Crimson right now. Oh, okay, so 3 guys are watching that angle. This is good. Jambawi goes in for a nade in the dark. Not going to connect with anybody there. The counter nade comes in, but it's not necessarily the best. However, Pajama Man, the man himself, comes in with an aid, and that's a good one here. Let's have a look on the right side of the screen as we see the map, or sorry, the players from above. Actually, if we transition to Pajama Inada, still on the right side here, he's going to be going for the crouch. He knows he's got an enemy close to the other side there on the tree line. Jambawe holding on to the tree. He doesn't need to move, but Pajama does. He's not inside the circle. Now that he is, he could actually play a bit of a flank, but he's a bit afraid to go to his right. And you know why? Because he knows that there's teams in there.
This is going to be a rough situation, but at the same time, who is going to survive on that lower side of the circle, on the south side? They'll have an advantage because it is high ground for them. And with the next rotation, Flames are really in a tough luck. They have to go through an empty space of almost nothing.
And there goes Pajama Inada, who will die down now. It's just going to be 3 teams left alive. In this situation here, the Flames indeed found themselves in a dire spot. Once again, these guys have absolutely no chance at this one.
Yeah, the problem is they have a small ditch
Yeah.
that they can hide right now, but otherwise...
Oh!
Oh, okay, but if they can pull off shots like this, that will buy them some time,
Yes,
and
it
they
will.
can avoid the shots from the other team. They might have a small chance. Also depends, of course, if they have smokes. But this is
yeah, very important.
really a tough situation for them. So, Crimson looking really good right now, especially with the SKS holding the angle. But he is getting shot as well. No Kevlar on him. No Kevlar. Every single shot might be almost lethal.
Yes, indeed. Crimson is going to be taking shots at Flames, and also NLG taking shots at Flames as well.
A lot of empty cans in the grass. Don't spoil. No, no.
Don't spoil what?
The earth.
Oh,
No.
don't worry. Yeah. Be eco-friendly, please.
Exactly. Put
Outsider
those cans when they belong. Into the trash.
There you go.
Okay.
Outsider now trying to put the Flames into the trash as he tries to put out their fire here. Does not connect with the Groza here, but he got to stick on 2 angles, and it's not an easy task to do. NLG haven't showed up the whole freaking match. They only have 1 total kill from Jansen, and well, it looks like they snaked their way into top 3, and they actually might be on the 2nd place if Flames are kept away. But because NLG is being put under pressure by Crimson, that gives Flames a chance to enter the circle. So now it's pretty much a 50-50 situation for pretty much everybody, and Crimson are going to be on the lower end as they have to make their way inside. Jensen now holding on to his spot there. 4x on top. Outside it finally connects with his Groza. Flames finds a frag against Crimson. Crimson looking bad at this moment in time. I don't know if they have more than 2 guys. They do have more than 2 guys left. So that was a kill after a down.
Interesting to see that Crimson even allowed this to happen.
Oh my god, they try to be proactive. They try to take shots on NLG, but it doesn't work out. NLG will put them down, and now it's just going to be Copenhagen Flames versus No Loot Gaming. Jansen will be holding out with the red dot there. I feel like he could use the 4x as well.
And you know
We're all
what's
about to
funny?
find out where the circle goes.
Both of those teams are coming from the Bravo
They're coming
division.
from the Bravo, yeah.
And they're going to win one of the first game of week 2.
And that shows you that there's a chance for everybody pretty much there. Slam. Did he spot his enemy? He might have. He could have. Oh, tell me he did. That would be a 6-6 shot if he actually has. The circle is actually not encroaching any of the teams, so they're both going to have to make their way in. But here comes the frags from 3D Butts and Jansen. Good shots, and DG Thang as well coming in with 1. And that leaves 1 guy left alive, Noise, with a sliver of life on him. And he has a first aid kit. He could be potentially using that one there, but do they know where he is? His teammate trying to body block him. Jones is going to be putting himself in the line of fire. That's a dangerous situation, and they might have read it. Did they read it? No, it works out. Noise actually gets himself healed. He gets a chance at into the game here. Of course, it's a 1v4 situation.
1v4. If he's going to pull this off, it's going to be amazing.
It's a tiny chance, but he can make it happen. Come on, make it happen, Noise. Pull a 6-6 nade and show us what you got. It looks like NLG are not going to be having any of that. They're already on the hunt. All 4 guys trying to scout and find. Noise is going to be taking 1 down. That's a good start, but that should be all she wrote. And it is indeed. It's going to be GG on the chicken dinner.
Was
for
close, though.
No Loot Gaming. On a
Look at
very
Jansen's
spicy
HP.
ending.
Literally 1 more bullet to his thumb, and he would be knocked out.
But
And
then-
that would just put him at 1 versus 2.
Oh, there you go. Well, it didn't work out, though, did it? No, it didn't.
Yep.
LG taking in their chicken dinner. Very well done by them. Well, very well done, actually, to not do too much, but have smart rotations. Because you saw that circle earlier on as a viewer, and we saw it as well. There were so many teams in such little space. I wonder how NLG actually managed to navigate safely into the path of those final circles without actually having to spot or be spotted by anybody. That's pretty sick.
It was very interesting because I think like Crimson kind of dropped the ball when it comes to the map awareness, or they were just